Hey guys, Jeff from Home Renovision here, and today we are going to be staining the brick on the church, okay? Now, we did a video a while back. We talked about one of the greatest returns on investment when you have a renovation project on an older house like this is to change the exterior facade and make it modern. You can get 5 or 10% return on investment on your whole property if you just repaint the building, right? So that's what we're going to do on this thing. We're going to show you how much of the character of the building changes. Let's understand that if you hire a contractor to do something like this, I was getting quotes a little around the $20,000 mark, okay? We reached out and got a couple of student painters to give us a hand, and I'm supplying the genie boom. And if you're going to have a 2-day project on a 2-story building, I recommend having something like this. It's a lot safer than working off a ladder. Right? So grab a boom. It's about $2,000. You can rent it for 2 to 3 days. Worth the investment because the student labor is only $3 grand. The paint for this whole project was $600. Right? Bam. Not only am I making huge return on investment, but I got a cost-effective way to get this project started. All right, so step one on a project like this is first you got to do a walk around the property. You've got to find out if you've got any wasps or hornet nests going on. Especially me, because I've discovered I'm deathly allergic. But before I get started, I got to get inside and I got to kill the wasps that are living at my door. We all know what happens with me and wasps. Let's get the nest. All right, step 2 is remove things from the building that you don't want to have painted. Old light fixtures and things like that. Maybe cut back some hedges, all that kind of thing. And then for us, we have to go and remove this cross. Well, here we are, maiden voyage, first day of work on the church. I know I'm still busy trying to finish my farmhouse, but what the heck? Let's get this out of the way because the weather's perfect. We got a crew coming out to give me a hand today. First thing we got to do is get the genie set up. We got to level all these, extend the outriggers. This is going to take a minute. Going to remove the cross before the painters get here. It don't get any easier than that. 9/16 is the money. It looks like it might even be 3 different pieces of wood. Wow. Yeah, it's bolted into the mortar. That's how not to build something. Oh, that could have just come crashing down one day. A little bit of frost in the winter or something gets in there, you know? I'm gonna just try to remove the bolt and set it onto the roof. And then we'll see how this reacts. Because if those back feet start to lift when I carry the weight, then that's bad. Yeah, that's it. Okay, that's the bolt. Okay, let's see if we can put the weight on. How are we there? Okay. Okay. All better from here. If I drop this, Max, it could literally flip right at you. I want you to reposition. I gotta get the arm off the road before I come down. There we go. Woo! I'm in high speed here. I'd rather not have this destroyed if we could get away with it. Step 3 is to prep your masonry surface. And in this case, we have to power wash where the cross was hiding. And that's about the only thing we got to do. The rest of this building is in great condition, was exposed to the elements, and so it's been washed every time it rained. Not a concern. You can stain right over top of brick in its current condition. The secret, of course, is to read the product instructions. And that'll tell you that you need to water down the first coat so that it get a much better soak into the brick. And then after about 6 hours, it's set up so that it can receive a second coat and make it almost bulletproof. Now, this particular product from PPG is actually designed for staining masonry that you can walk or drive on. It's that effective. So as an exterior coating on a church like this, it's going to last for years and years and years. That is money in the bank. All right, next step, guys, first coat. Remember, you're going to want to dilute about 10%, okay? Now, because we're dealing with textured brick, you want to just keep an eye on this. You want to have about a foot off the wall, and you want to kind of come at it from a 5-degree angle, left and then right. And then on the second coat, we're going to go up and then down, all right? That makes sure we get in all the nooks and crannies. So we're going to go on an angle and then come back on it, okay? It's really that simple. It's actually kind of a lot of fun. All right, there you go. Piece of cake. I'll let you do your thing. Keep that going so it doesn't get clogged up. So let's just take a minute and address the obvious. Not everybody's going to have access to a lift or need one. Obviously on this building, it's got an incredibly high peak. Traditionally, your average house, you know, especially a single story, you can reach with a ladder. And the truth is that this was a 3-day paint job. And for the first 2 days we used the lift. We used it on the front, we used it on the back. We used it on the one side, but it, you know, I had access to it, but now it's gone. So the truth is the east side of the church was done off a ladder. And that's the way that most people would have to deal with that. So you can deal with a ladder in this situation. I just like a lift. I know it looks precarious, it looks dangerous and sketchy, but it's rated for 500 pounds, fully extended. And so, although it bounces a little bit, once you get used to it, it's kind of a fun ride. The reality is it's a lot safer than a ladder, so we used it as much as we could while we had it. When we didn't have it available, we finished up like you're gonna have to do at home yourself. The other option, of course, is you could rent scaffolding. And you could put scaffolding up around your building if you don't want to deal with a ladder. We have a video on how to do that, so you can always check the video description below and we'll have a link there for you. That's another option. If you rent scaffolding for a week to paint your own house and it's a 2-story, you would be surprised how easy and efficient and safe you'll feel up on a scaffolding. Now, for the purpose of the video today, I'm also going to run through a couple of other options for you, so let's dive into that right now. All right, guys, so here on this channel, we don't believe that there's only one right way to do anything. I have a philosophy that the right way for you depends on your budget and the scope of work, right? There's no sense trying to create this illusion that every time you want to do something as a homeowner, you've got to have thousands of dollars of tools. It's just not true. So we're going to go is we're going to switch over from what we just saw with the airless sprayer, which is the best technique, and it gives you a great finish because it doesn't have a lot of dripping. It dries so fast when it hits the brick, right? We're going to go to the different options for you. So we got a Wagner power sprayer, which is electric. And so it will not control the dripping the same degree because it's not an airless sprayer. We're going to try that product on this wall as well and show you how it operates. And then we're going to do brush and roll. And we're going to show you all the different industry tips and tricks, different products, different tools. And then you can decide what's best for your project at home, okay? Because the more mesh you're going to make, the more prep you have to do, the more site protection you need, the more expensive the equipment, the easier it's going to be, obviously. So we're just going to show you all the different options real quick so that you have an idea and you feel empowered to do this at your house. Because remember, when you stain the brick at the outside of your property, you're going to increase the value of your home by 5%. It's a 2-day project for most people. And if the average home in America is $300,000, we're talking about $15,000 for $300 worth of paint and a weekend's work. So I think it's an investment that's worth your time and energy. We're going to show you a couple of tips and tricks right now. Let's just jump into it. Tip number 1. When you forget to bring your paint can opener, you can always use a key. Use it off the side, not the tip. Not the part that opens the door, right? And you can just throw it in there and run your way around the lid. Boom. We've obviously waited a couple of days on purpose before coming to this job. All right, check that out. That is not ready to be applied. But if you buy yourself a $3 paint mixer, throw it on low speed, stick her on in there, problem solved in 30 seconds. Well, heck, maybe 15. And it'll clean that off mostly. Good. Nice. All right, now that our stain is ready, remember, because we're not using an airless sprayer, and it just rained here light last night, the brick is already moist. We don't need to thin this product down. Remember, we only thin it down when we're using an airless sprayer or if it's incredibly hot and dry. If the masonry is already kind of damp, then you're in really great shape. So I think before we use the airless, or the sprayer, we're gonna go with brush and roll. Let's just get some product in here first. Okay, keep the bugs out. We'll talk about the roller first. Basic, any roller cage. I love these Sherlock because they work with my paint sticks, right? Now this is not any ordinary foam roller. This is what they call a split foam roller. You see that? It's sliced up. And what this is for painting anything with texture. So let's say you have a stipple or a stucco ceiling or anything else, really, for that matter, that's got texture. This allows it to work between all the grooves, okay, and paint all three sides at the same time. The secret to this, of course, let's go up nice and high on this one so we can use the Wagner on the lower section. The secret to this, of course, is less is more. If you saturate the roller with too much material, because this is a stain, it's going to be spraying all over the place. So I'm going to try my best in my brand new blue shirt to not make a mess. Let's see how she works. So I'm not going to dunk it in the end. I'm just going to drag the material and load the roller on the front. And right now what I'm doing is I'm getting rid of the excess up top. Okay? I'm going to stand way back just to make sure. All right, here we go. Now this brick has got mortar joints going horizontal and vertical, but the brick itself has got these crazy vertical lines. That takes a lot of work to get the paint in there. Now your brick may not have this kind of texture to it. This is probably like the worst case scenario brick to ever try to paint. And a lot of this is going to come down to pressure with not too much material. Okay, there you go. Let the split roller do the work for you. All right, and already you can see this is not as fast as an airless sprayer by any stretch of the imagination. And if you want to invest $6 on your paint project and buy a split foam roller, and that's the budget you're working with, this will work. Okay, just got to be a little meticulous. Now you notice that the stain isn't getting all the way through to the mortar joint. Let's see if we can get all the way into the mortar joint this time. We'll tighten this up and get in a little bit closer. Don't be shy. You see what's happening here? I'm getting lots of extra paint on the brick, but it's not penetrating to the mortar joint. Okay? And that's okay. That's why we call it a brush and roller system. All right. So, in this case, we'll load up the brush on the inside of the brush. And we're going to do this, kind of a dab system. You want to just push and drag. And there's extra mortar, so there's extra material on the brick right now, so it's a great time to do it. And if you see that you got too much and it's just bubbling up, just go pick it up with the brush. As it gets dry, you can pick up the extra material and then put it somewhere else. Now at the end of the day, this brush is going to be garbage. It's going to take a lot of abuse. Okay? But you also have a lot of control to get a great job here. I'm going to tell you right now, I think this coverage is better than the air sprayer. The airless sprayer, sorry. Because it requires you to do two different tools and be up close and personal, I think we're going to find that this is a much better finish. Once I get really efficient with this, it's probably about 1 square foot a minute. Let's say you got about 1,200 square feet, including your peaks. That's 1,200 minutes. That's 20 hours of work, okay? That's 2 days, 10 hours a day, brush and roller, a 30 by 40 home. If you could make $15,000 profit on your house for 2 long days on a weekend with a brush and roller, I think that probably makes a lot more sense than watching the same Netflix reruns that you've already seen. Because Lord knows, we've all seen everything that Netflix has to offer after this COVID experience, eh? All right, so I'm just gonna finish off the last few grout lines here, and then we're gonna try out the Wagner Power Sprayer, because I have a feeling that that'll be even faster. I hope it is, because I had the painters leave me a real good size of wall. I don't want to be here all afternoon. I don't know if you could do that 10 hours a day. Might be a 3 or 4 day project, just in case. All right, now let's go and load that sucker up and see what we got. Yeah, if you don't have that mixer, Max, you're not going to get an even distribution of the product here. This is a petroleum chemical product, right? So it's a water-based paint, but it's got oil technology mixed in it. It's high tech. That's why when they put it on the shaker, it's for like 3 to 5 minutes, because like it really needs the help. Stuff's a lot sloppier than regular latex paint, that's for sure. Okay, let's get this on here. Funny thing is it washes off with water, right? Who saw that coming? But with the sprayer, you just line up the arrows with the unlock sign and then roll around, and then it locks down here. Okay, now you got a restrictor here. You can dial that in or out depending. We're gonna find the sweet spot. And then we also have to adjust for the spray nozzle up and down or sideways. Let's just go make a mess and we'll see what we find out. Got to use the on switch. All right. Well, that was a little noisy, but dang, she works, huh? I think your biggest issue here is getting the right movement. You're gonna wanna have a brush just to dab the drips. So what I'm doing is I'm spraying a bit down and a bit on this angle as well. And on the second pass, I'm spraying this way, okay? So like when I'm spraying here, I'm not trying to get the paint to this edge. I'm trying to get the paint in the middle of the brick. Let's try it a little more. Yeah, that just turned that into a 10-hour weekend. This cuts the whole process in half, and all you gotta do is pull the trigger. 40 bucks? Oh yeah, this is the way I'm gonna go, baby. So there we have it, folks. Now we know you can do a project like this for a $30 Wagner Power Sprayer. Listen, I'm not sponsored to do this video. I love going to the hardware store and buying the cheapest option available and trying it out. And it turned out, in this case, it actually is a really effective tool. Like, that is a professional finish. I don't care how you cut the cake on that one. Obviously, it's not as fast as the $1,400 machine, but unless you're planning on doing 10 of these a year for the rest of your life, what's the point? It also only took 3 minutes to clean out. I just threw some water in the bucket with a little soap and sprayed it into the grass. Loving it. So I guess at the end of the day, forget the brush and roller, all right? Forget hiring a crew, forget the big expensive machines, just go with the cheap little sprayer. Yeah, spend a couple of days, make a few $1,000 bucks. That is money in the bank. And if you like the idea of us making videos that show you how to make money, then hit the like button, for Pete's sake. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because on this channel, we're all about showing you DIY renovations and remodeling projects to help increase the value of your home, all right? We think it's super important that everybody pays down their mortgage and increases the value of the property at the same time to put you and your family in a better position moving forward in this crazy world. So, in that note, let's also take a look at this. I got a playlist for you. Check this out. Did a live video, top 10 renovations that make you a huge return on investment. It's a great video to help guide you down the road in the future. Cheers to